Hi, I'm Alan Coffey, and I'm driven to know. Monday, I turned 60. I don't feel any different than 59. This is one of those birthdays they consider to be a milestone in your life where you've gone from being officially middle-aged to old, I guess. I'm sure there's a lot more senior discounts available to me, and in 2 years I can early retire on Social Security if I need to. But I don't really feel any different than I did when I was 59 on Sunday. However, because it is a milestone birthday and things have changed in terms of my status, I'm no longer in my 50s, I'm now in my 60s. I started thinking about, mortality and old age and all the things that go along with that. Long time ago, I learned that in 1900 the average life expectancy for a man was 47 years old. And I've kind of considered ever since then, every day over 47 was icing on the cake. So I've made, 13 years over 47. That's not bad. But anyhow, I'm not any different this very moment than I was the day before my birthday or even really 3 weeks ago. However, these thoughts about mortality and old age really focus my attention on the fact that I'm concerned about my future. I'm concerned about the future of other people as well. I've been unemployed now for almost an entire year. I have never been without a job that paid enough to more or less live on for that long a period of time. The longest prior to that had been 6 months. But now here it is, come December the 6th, it'll be a whole year. And it looks like I'm not going to find a decent job. Either I'm not qualified because my education is in the wrong things, or I'm too old, although they never come out and say that because that's illegal and you could sue them for that, possibly. It'd be really hard to do, but you could. But it doesn't look like I'm going to find a decent job. So that's why I'm trying to make this YouTube thing work. Why I'm making videos. And why I'm trying to take the knowledge and the information that I have and do something with it. Now, also too, while I've been unemployed and I've been concerned about my future, and I still am concerned about my future, I have been very fortunate to have a lot of good friends, many of whom have helped me out. Financially and in other ways during this difficult time. If it wasn't for these friends, I'd be sitting in a dark house with no electricity and I wouldn't be making this video right now. So that's good, but that's not a long-term strategy for survival, to be depending upon other people to finance your life. I don't like being dependent upon generosity of other people, not because they're not generous, but I just feel like I'm being a freeloader or a gold brick, and I don't really like feeling that way. But in addition to being concerned about myself, I'm also concerned about other people too, because not everyone has such good friends as I do. And even the ones who do have as good of friends as I do, sometimes they don't have any resources at all. And so these folks are being hung out to dry by what's going on in our government right now and by what's going on with the coronavirus, caused in large part by our government dropping the ball. No, not in large part. It's caused by the government dropping the ball. Anyhow, that hurts people. That hurts people I know, that hurts people I don't know, even more people than I don't know. And in order to see these folks get some assistance, some relief during these difficult times, we need to see some change in our government's priorities. I think the first thing is we need to break the stranglehold of wealth that our government is under. People with lots and lots and lots and lots of money, they basically control the agenda. We also have a lot of working folks out there that have problems. Why do you think we have people my age or thereabouts committing suicide? Because they can't find a job and their families are hurting. Working people, people who are not middle class or upper middle class, they need some help. They are struggling, and they really need the government to pay attention to them. We also need to see the government take COVID-19 seriously. Ever since this started, the current administration, all they've done is downplay it. Yeah, you have the experts come out and say, well, you need to do this, the CDC says this, da, 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 and then the president gets up and within 30 seconds, he's basically said, no, you don't really need to pay attention to them. They don't know what they're talking about, blah, 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 blah. That's not gonna cut it. That is just not going to cut it. We need to take COVID-19 seriously. There needs to be a national response to it instead of just saying, oh, well, y'all kind of do whatever you want to. It's not that important. It's just the flu and yeah, no big deal. It is a big deal. I know people, several people, who have died from it, and people that weren't that old. And I'm sure that a lot of folks do know people who have died from it, particularly people in the lower income level, kind of like I am. They are going to know folks that have died from COVID-19. The government needs to take a lot of other issues seriously that they have been neglecting as well, particularly rights concerning gender and sexuality, rights concerning abortion and a woman's body. Those things have been whittled away now for quite some time. And if people are going to be able to control their lives and take responsibility for themselves and control what happens to them, they have got to have autonomy over their bodies. So we need to be serious about these issues. Our government needs to be serious about this as well. There is much more to our lives and the life of our country than having a big army and giving money away to billionaires and large corporations, keeping people working at poverty wages. There's a lot more to our country than that, and a lot more needs to be done to help those folks that are being taken advantage of. Okay, the takeaway. It sounds a lot like I've just been ranting and complaining, oh, I'm old, everything's terrible, and everything's bad, wah. Well, yeah, I've been doing a little bit of that. I've been around 60 years. I've seen a lot of stuff. Not as long as somebody who's been around 70 years, but I've been around long enough to see a lot of things. I probably won't be around for another 60 years. I don't expect I'm a candidate for the singularity or any of those life extension type things. I'm a little too far down the totem pole. But in spite of all that, in spite of the complaining and the concerns that I've expressed, I just want to say, I like being alive. It really does beat the alternative. In my past professional life as a minister, I've been around a lot of people who were dead. I've been in the room with a lot of people who have died while I was there. I've seen people die. And being alive is vastly better. Normal life where you're not overburdened by pain, is a wonderful thing. And I really am glad to be alive. I'm concerned that so many people seem to think it's a-okay to make other people suffer so they can make some money. But otherwise, I like being alive. Because life literally is the experience of a lifetime. It really is. It's the experience of a lifetime. You're never going to do anything that's exciting as being alive. Take it from me. I've got 60 years worth of it under my belt. And I wouldn't trade being alive for the alternative for anything. I hope that you'll look at your life and you'll say, I'm glad to be alive. I like being alive. Even as hard as being alive is sometimes, it is worth it. And it really is. It's worth being alive. And I'm glad that I am alive. I'm Alan, and I'm driven to know. Now for 60 years. Like and subscribe below. You can help me out by clicking on my PayPal that's pinned below in the first comment and send a little money my way so I can pay the bills and not have to constantly be asking people to give me money. And again, I'm Alan Coffey. I'm driven to know. You be too.